Hello, I'm Edward Allport, and what we've got here is three poems which were prompted, I wouldn't say they were inspired, by an event or the memory of an event which took place back in 1993. And I was working in the City of London. And on the 23rd of April 93, the IRA detonated a huge truck bomb on Bishopsgate, which is a major street in the city. And it was a ton of explosive. And the blast radius was half a kilometre, and my office was about 50 metres away from the truck, and the office was blown to shreds. And this is what Bishopsgate looks like now, and this is what it looked like after the bomb. The photograph was taken from the top of the building where I worked. But on the Monday, I had to put on a hard hat and heavy boots and go and supervise the retrieval of our paper files, and that was a difficult and dangerous task. And this first poem, Dies Irae, was written in my lunch hour that day. It was originally published in Sideways. Dies Irae. My hand crawls with instant maggots to think that with a gesture I could send their jaws careering through bricks and bone. I will mould my maggots, shape them lovingly into innocent forms, squeeze them into cracks and crevices, and let them sleep in comfort until they stammer into life and rip their way through flesh and furnishings. Look at my hand. Look at the egg lying on the bare bone. See it sweat, steady, in anticipation. My maggots have no need of broken glass, no need to crawl around on bloodstains or justify themselves with pupae. They need the incubation and the hatch and the imprint of my fingertip. Well, being a Saturday, the office was empty, but I often worked on a Saturday, and that day I was going to be in the office because I was going to a big wedding in one of the city churches, and my family were all going to change into our glad rags in my office. And if we'd been there when the bomb went off, we wouldn't have survived. The shards of glass alone would have killed us, and that brought the whole thing a little bit too close for comfort. But as my family were coming up, we had tidied the office beautifully, and I am not a tidy worker. And my desk was in perfect order when I left on the Friday, and that was the last time I saw it. But that's what stuck in my mind. And this next poem, Procrastination, is about that perfectly tidy desk. And it was first published in Acumen. Procrastination, the next item on the agenda. This desk holds the secrets of immortality. Piles of paper perfectly squared. Tomorrow, and tomorrow's tomorrow, and the day after that. If one desk ain't big enough, there's always the desk next door. And lists! There are even lists of lists, listed on the back of lists, completed with relief. This is a desk that has no doubt about tomorrow. It holds no fear that whoever sat here won't return, and all these tidy piles will shift back one more day, and every list will wait for an earlier one to run its course. If Sisyphus ever pushed a pen up a hill, this desk will be waiting for him at the summit. Now, the company that I worked for, which was then called Willis Faber, had a policy of seamless recovery and uninterrupted service, and so by 11 o'clock on the Monday morning, we were up and running again. And one result of the bomb, which was positive for my team, was that we were eventually rehoused in a lovely brand new office that was much more comfortable than the old one. And I wouldn't say we celebrated the bomb at its anniversary, that's poetic license, but we were very aware that our new accommodation was the result of it. And when Wildfire had a call on the theme of 1 year on, I wrote this poem, which is called The Bishopsgate Bomb. They used to say the city never stops, but I know better. I've seen the scars. I've walked past alleyways that bore the brunt of iron fists that hammered home a message, which one I quite forget. I've heard the roar of hate, suitably anonymized. I've seen the slam of fire on stone so loud that any message was drowned by the sound of falling glass and masonry. And even then the city didn't stop. It staggered a bit, perhaps, faltered in the murk, and on Monday morning we all were back at work. So even in the dead zone of the blast radius, even in the maelstrom of broken glass, files were filled and documents recomposed alongside the sweeping up of glass into skips and boarding up of windows. Life went on a little further up the road, and the blast passed into folk memory. Do you remember when? Boarded windows stared across the street. I walked past every day and nothing changed. Nothing changed. I know, I saw. We were moved to brand new offices after the bomb. We went and raised a glass to the crater one year on.